Hello, hello, hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Pokemon Premier League Division 2 Season 4 week number 8, and this week we are playing Amazing Cheat of the Newcrustle United. My name is RichaadEB, I am the manager of the Nidoqueens Park Rangers, and we are hoping to continue our winning streak in this week and get our longest win streak in PPL history of 3. Yeah, that's right, my win streak right now, my longest win streak in PPL history is 2. I am good at this game, I promise. So, it's not going to be too easy though, because Chi is having a blinder of a season. He's doing pretty damn well, and his team is very, very scary. He could potentially bring to this game Skarmory, Kyurem Black, Florges, Delmise, Crocodile, Electros, Tentacruel, Excelgor, Delphox, Ambipom, and Boldore. Which is fairly spooky stuff. If you want to know what team I'm bringing to this game, then make sure to go check out my team builder video. This should be linked in the description. If not, oh well. But a real quick rundown on my team. I'm bringing a Suicide Lead Azelf, my Assault Vest, Mirror Coat and Blastoise. I've got a mostly offensive Mega Venusaur, Assault Vest Heliolisk, a DD Haxorus, and an Autotomy Celesteela again. So, we're not bottom of the table anymore. Yay! Because of our 2 wins in the last 2 weeks, we are now 10th, I believe, which is pretty cool. And if we win this week, then we can go like even higher, and that'll be great, right? And then we could be like, have 3 wins, which is like pretty cool. Anywho, before we get into this game, links will be in the description to all the PPL stuff, or the PPL fan server, Discord. We've got the PPL public, the public spreadsheet, all of that jazz going on in there. Oh, and also, Celesteela's now in the Golden Pokeball Awards. Celesteela's like 2nd now, because it got 6 kills last week, so it went up to like 10 kills. But still, 2nd. Yay! Go Celesteela. You do a thing. So, my plan for this game, if you haven't seen my team builder, especially if you haven't seen the pace spin associated with the team builder, my plan is to lead with Azelf, get up rocks, kill the Skarmory, kill the Electros, and then set up with Celesteela and win. That's the plan. So I need Skarmory to be either dead or at a point where it can't take a flamethrower, and I need Electros to, again, be dead or at a point where it can't take a flamethrower, and then Celesteela just kinda wins, like a little bit, kinda sorta. Delphox might need to take a little bit of damage first, but other than that, like, it basically just wins. Easy way to do that is to set up rocks. That's really going to help me with the Delphox and the Kyurem Black. So, without stalling any further, let's get into this game and let's see how things go. Make sure to go check out Chi's side of this battle as well. He's a good friend of mine, so make sure to go check out his vids too. So, like I said, my game plan going into this is to Suicide Lead with my Azelf and to get up rocks. The one Pokemon I don't want to see him leading with is the Delmise, because I can't really touch it. So I'm going to lead with my Azelf, and he is going to lead with Celeste, and that is the Delmise. God damn it. So I can set up rocks against this thing. He can take me down to my Sash with a Ghost move, or whatever, I don't mind. Gonna go get up the rocks, and he is going to go for the Anchor Shot here, which means it's not taking me down to the Sash, but it's an easy 2-shot anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Now I'm just going to stay in here, I'm just going to click the Side Shock. Like I said, this is a Suicide Lead, and this is the strongest move I have to hit this guy, so just going to click the Side Shock button, and it does pretty decent little chunk, telling me that after he goes to the Anchor Shot here and takes me out, running a calc allowed me to see that he's probably max HP. I'm thinking probably Assault Vest here, because, you know, it's a good set. Now I'm going to bring in the Blastoise. I can't kill him with the Dark Pulse here, but I want him to think I can, and he's going to switch on out and go on out into the Florges, which is fine with me. This Dark Pulse is going to do basically nothing because I'm a Blastoise and that's a Florges. But now at this point, I'm going to probably switch into the Mega Venusaur. I want to Mega up. I want to find out what kind of set he is. I can see the leftovers there, which is nice. But he actually pulls a switch of his own and goes on out into the Electros, which I'm okay with because, like I said, I'm going to go out into my Venusaur here. Now, this is going to give me an opportunity to Mega Evolve, and it's going to allow me to see what kind of set he is, because I'm going to knock off his item, and it means if he goes for something like a Super Fang, then I know that he at least has something to do a little bit of damage to my Mega Venusaur. So like I said, I'm going to Mega Evolve here, and I'm just going to click the knock off button. I can knock off whatever item he has. I was hoping it was Assault Vest, or if he wanted to switch into the Skarmory, I knock off that guy's item. We knock off the Expert Belt, which is what I was expecting but not what I was hoping for. He goes for the Super Fang, and it does about half, obviously. And now I'm just going to click Synthesis and get back up to full HP because I can, and he's going to switch on out into the Skarmory. Now I know obviously I can't really touch him. I was debating staying in here and clicking the knockoff to try and get rid of his item, because we can see after this turn ends that he is in fact leftovers, but I didn't really want to take the damage onto my Mega Venusaur. I need to keep this thing as healthy as possible for the Electros later on. So I'm going to switch on out and I'm going to go into my Heliolisk here. Now he didn't bring his electric immunities to this game, he didn't bring the Crocodile, so I can Volt Switch freely against anything, and that's exactly what I'm going to do. He's going to get off the rocks as I switch out into my Heliolisk, and I'm just going to click the Volt Switch button because it would do a lot of damage to the Skarmory, leaving it in range from a Flamethrower from Celesteela later on, which as I said was quite important, and it's going to allow me to get momentum if he decides to switch, which he does. He's going to go back into the Delmise, but that's okay with me because after this Volt Switch and after the rocks, he's actually going to be in range from a knockoff from the Mega Venusaur. So if he wants to, again, if he wants to switch into the Skarmory, then he's going to be taking a lot of damage. Sorry, he's either going to die with the Delmise, or I'm going to get rid of his leftovers on the Skarmory. So I'm okay with either of those scenarios, so I'm just going to click the knockoff button, and he elects to stay in here, and this knockoff is going to take out this Delmise. It was a crit, but the crit did not matter in the slightest, and we see we knock off the Cobra Berry, which he bought in preparation for my Togekiss, which was quite cool, which I didn't bring. Now he's going to bring in the Skarmory on a free switch here. Again, debating staying in, clicking the knockoff, expecting the Whirlwind, honestly. Now that he's already got the rocks up, I'm thinking he's going to click Whirlwind here, but I didn't really want to risk taking a Brave Bird, so I'm going to go into my Heliolisk here, and unfortunately, after we take a bit of rocks damage, he does reveal the Whirlwind, and I'm going to get straight on out of there due to that Whirlwind, but it's going to take me into the Celesteela here. Now I decided to make a big boy play. I know he's going to expect me to have a fire move, and I'm thinking he's going to make an offensive switch into his Delphox here, so I'm going to make the big boy play, put on my big boy pants, and I'm going to click Earthquake, expecting the Delphox to come in, and we can see he switches here, and he goes into Seamus. That is the Delphox. Hell yeah! He's going to take 25% from rocks, and I'm going to click Earthquake. I've got 140 attack investment, so this Delphox is absolutely dead. Beautiful. Just kidding. He lives it. Very sad. With the HP investment that he had, it was a 66.6% chance to kill him after rocks. Unfortunately, I didn't get the roll. Now I'm going to switch out into my Blastoise, thinking it's the best thing to take any hits from this Delphox. He's going to go for the trick, and he's going to trick a Choice Scarf onto my Blastoise, which is not the worst thing in the world, but it's not exactly what I wanted. I now can't do Assault Vest Miracle, bit annoying, but I am going to be able to outspeed this Delphox, and I'm going to be able to school him and take him out, which is pretty nice. So the Delphox is dead, beautiful, and Blastoise picks up a kill after being tricked a Choice Scarf. Now he's going to bring in his Kieran Black. Now I was scared of him having Substitute. He's going to take 25% off the rocks. I was scared of him having Sub and me not being able to break his Substitute with a Scald. So I'm going to switch on out into my Heliolisk. Plus I know I can take, if he's not Life Orb or any kind of boosting item, I know I can take a Fusion Bolt from this Kieran Black from this range if he's max attack Jolly. So he's going to reveal the Fusion Bolt, he's not going to go for the Substitute, and I'm going to take a decent little chunk, but I do take that quite comfortably on my Heliolisk, which is nice, which tells me max attack, no boosting item, thinking he might be Scarfed here. Now I want to scout whether he's Scarfed. I'm going to switch on out into my Mega Venusaur. If he's Scarfed, he goes Fusion Bolt, and he doesn't do anything to my Mega Venusaur. If he's not Scarfed, I switch out, he switches out after me, which means he's not Scarfed. So I know that for later. I know he's either going to be Babiri Berry or Haban Berry. I don't know which yet, but I know it's got to be one of the two, because he's not attack boosting item and he's not Scarfed. So he's got to be a type weakening berry, it's going to be Babiri, or it's going to be Haban. Now I'm in against the Florges. I am going to click the knockoff button once again. I'm expecting the Skarmory to come in, and I'm going to get rid of that thing's leftovers. And he does exactly that. Going to click the knockoff, Skarmory gets rid of the leftovers, which is beautiful. Now he's not going to be, his only recovery that he has left is the Roost, so he's not going to be getting any passive recovery back from the lefties, which is great. Now I'm going to switch on out into my Blastoise, expecting the Brave Bird to come in. And I know I can take that, and I can kind of just scold over everything again, because he has nothing on his team that wants to get burnt. He's going to, in fact, go for the Roost here, which gives me a free switch into Blastoise, which is nice. I can just lock myself in on Scald, because nothing wants to switch into a Scald at all. The Florges doesn't want to get slowly worn down, nor does the Skarmory. The Kieran Black and the Electros definitely don't want to get burnt, so I'm pretty happy just staying here, just clicking Scald forever. I don't get a burn on that one, but he roosts and gets back to full HP. I'm just going to click it again. Now he knows I'm locked in on Scald. He's going to go back into his Florges, and I'm just really hoping to get a burn against it here. He's going to take a bit of Rocks, which is really starting to wear down his team, which is beautiful. I'm going to go for the Scald. Going to take him down to just under half. I don't get the burn. Very unfortunate. He's going to get the leftovers back. Now, honestly, I'm expecting the Synthesis here, or the Wish, one of the two, so I'm just going to click the Scald once again, because I really want to burn this Florges to start wearing it down. Going to get a decent little chunk on him, and I do get the burn on the second Scald against him, which is nice. So I'm 1 for 3 on burns with Scalds now, which is pretty decent. He is going to reveal the Synthesis here, and he's going to get back to a really nice amount of HP. Now, I was worried at this point that he would be Calm Mind Florges, and I knew that was definitely a threat going into this, but he hadn't revealed it yet, and I knew if he was going to do it, he was going to do it now, most certainly. So I'm going to click the Scald once again to check if he is Calm Mind. I couldn't really run the risk of switching into anything else to take the hits, because the best thing I have is my Heliolisk, which is worn down, and he does reveal the Calm Mind. That is no bueno for me. So now I know obviously I can't stay in here at this point, because this is absolute setup fodder for him. Even if I crit him with Scalds and stuff, I'm not going to be doing enough. So I'm going to like to switch out here, expecting him to go for his Synthesis here. I'm going to switch out into my Mega Venusaur. Now I know I'm not going to be able to take him out obviously, but all I need on this is damage, enough damage on him to leave the Florges in range of a Poison Jab from the Haxorus. So he's going to click the Synthesis button again as I expected, and he's going to get back to full HP. But at this point, I'm just going to click the Sludge Bomb, get as much damage as I can, because I am an offensive Mega Venusaur. Even though he's +1 special defense, I know he doesn't have any special defense investment from the damage calcs I was running earlier. I'm still going to get really good damage off against him, which is nice. He is going to click the Psychic. If he's uninvested in special attack, I will live this, but unfortunately he has special attack investment, and it is going to take out this Mega Venusaur. So, if he was completely uninvested in special attack there, I absolutely guarantee would have lived that, unless he crit me, but unfortunately he had that special attack investment, meaning that Mega Venusaur went down. Now I'm going to bring in the Haxorus. He is in range from a Poison Jab from this range. Even if he's max physically defensive, I know I can take him out with a Poison Jab here, and I can't really risk going for a different move or pulling a double switch, because I know the Skarmory is coming in here, but just in case he wants to be ballsy and stay in with his Florges and take out my Haxorus, expecting me to like overpredict or something, I needed to click Poison Jab here because I couldn't lose my Haxorus yet. It's the only real solid way I've got to take it out Electros. So he is going to switch in the Skarmory, but at least that means Florges is off the field, so I can deal with it later. Now the Skarmory's in, I'm going to go back into the Blastoise here, as he's going to go for the Brave Bird. I know I can take this because I'm max HP, I've got some defense investment, so I know I can take this Brave Bird from the Skarmory fairly comfortably. Now again, I can just lock myself in on Scald. This Skarmory doesn't want to be burnt, especially because it doesn't have leftovers anymore. He really doesn't want to be getting worn down. The Florges, because it's lost its Calm Mind boost, after the rocks and after burn damage, he's actually in range from 2 Scalds here. Gonna click the Scald, gonna do some really nice damage to the Florges, and one more Scald after the lefties, after burn, he's definitely in range from another Scald on the next turn, and that's exactly what happens. I'm going to click the Scald button again because, again, nothing can switch in freely on this Scald. Nothing wants to get burnt. So I'm going to take out the Florges here, and Blastoise getting yet another kill. Choice Scarf Blastoise coming in clutch right here. Florges goes down, Blastoise picking up another kill. Now he's going to bring in his Kyurem once again. He's going to take another 25% from Rocks once again. Now at this point, I basically had to run the risk of him running Substitute because I didn't really have a switch in. So I'm just going to click Scald, hoping to burn him before he hopefully killed my Blastoise. And I do get the burn off the Scalded on the Kyurem, which is nice. So I believe I'm 2 for 4 on Scalds in this match, which is pretty nice for me. Now he's going to reveal the Roost here, which I was quite scared of, because obviously it means the Rocks was fairly useless, but the burn is going to wear him down slowly, which is great. So now I'm just going to keep clicking Scald, trying to essentially sack off my Blastoise to get a free switch into something else, trying to keep him as low as possible, so that I can leave him in range from like a Dragon Claw from the Haxorus or the Flash Cannon on the Celesteela. Now again, at this point, I didn't know whether he was going to be Berry Berry or Habanberry. I was leaning more towards Habanberry at this point, and I'm just basically just going to keep clicking Scald here just to try and get him as low as possible for when I do eventually die. He's going to keep clicking Roost here, but I know after Blastoise goes down, I have a choice because He has 3 things left: the Kieran Black, the Skarmory, and the Electros. Celesteela is not going to be doing anything this game, unfortunately, because the 2 things that stop Celesteela are the Skarmory and the Electros, and he has both of them left. The only thing that Celesteela is good for is killing this Kieran Black. So he is going to finally go for the Fusion Bolt here, and he's going to take out my Blastoise. Now I'm going to bring in that Celesteela because I can take out this Kieran Black with a Flash Cannon from this range, guaranteed. Unless he's fully special defensive, which he's not, then I can take him out with a Flash Cannon, guaranteed, no problem. That means then he can bring in his Skarmory or the Electros. I will outspeed both of them and I can get some damage on them before Celesteela dies, and then I can play around in a 2v2 situation with my Heliolisk and my Haxorus. He's going to go for the Ice Beam on the Kieran Black, but I can take this and I'm getting frozen. Every season in PPL I have been frozen, and that freeze just stopped me from killing Kieran Black. He's going to go for another Ice Beam and take me out. If he went for the Fusion Bolt there, because of the burn and because of my Whack-A Berry, I definitely would have taken it. And I could have gone for a Flash Cannon, I could have taken him out, but the Ice Beam freezes me, and now I can't take out Kieran Black, which means he's not in range from Heliolisk, which means I have to go into my Haxorus here, and the only way I win this now is if Chi chokes. If he goes into his Skarmory here, and I go into my Heliolisk, I can have a chance of winning this. If I stay in with Haxorus, I lose. So my only hope here is he has to go into Skarmory on my Heliolisk switch. That's the only way I have a chance of winning this, but he doesn't. He stays in, he makes the correct play. He's going to take out my Heliolisk with the Ice Beam, and I have no chance of winning this anymore because I can't kill the Skarmory with my Haxorus. So essentially, any chance I had of winning was stripped when I got frozen. I'm not saying that if I didn't get frozen I would have won, but I definitely still had a chance. Because, as I said, what would have happened is I would have killed the Kieran Black, I would have been fairly low, but I would have outsped both the Skarmory and the Electro, so whatever he brought in, I could have flamethrowed the Skarmory for massive damage, or I could have flamethrowed the Electros for a bit of damage, because I would have been a +1 special attack as well. I'm going to pick up another kill with the Haxorus on the Kieran Black here, before he brings in the Skarmory. But I can't touch the Skarmory here. I know he's most likely going to click Roost here, so I could have clicked the Dragon Dance there, but wasn't really worth it if I'm honest, because I didn't really have a chance of winning this anyway. Even 2 +1 crits against the Skarmory still wouldn't kill it, so I basically didn't have a chance. I'm just clicking Dragon Claw until I die, and I'm going to lose this match 2-0 because I can't kill the Skarmory here, and the Electros is still in the back, unfortunately. So that freeze was incredibly unfortunate, because if I'd have been able to kill that Kieran Black, I would have been at +1 special attack thanks to the Beast Boost. If he'd have brought in the Skarmory against me, then I could have flamethrowed it for massive damage, and I know he was physically defensive, so it would have done huge damage against him because I was a fully special Celesteela at +1, would have done massive damage to the Skarmory. And then if he'd have gone into the Electros, I could have gone for a +1 flamethrower against him, and while obviously, you know, not killing him, it would have done huge damage and would have made it much easier for the Heliolisk, for example, to Hyper Voice and kill the Electros. Heliolisk obviously would kill the Skarmory, but it would do big damage to the Electros. The Haxorus would kill the Electros, not the Skarmory. So Chi definitely still had a way to win that match, but it all came down to 50-50s, and if we made the right switches and the right moves at the right time. So without the freeze, it would have been a 50-50. I could have still won that game. With the freeze, it absolutely sealed my loss, because all he had to do was stay in with Kieran Black against me. The other thing that was a bit annoying was having the Delphox live the Earthquake, allowing him to trick my Mega Blastoise with the Choice Scarf was a bit annoying, because although it was nice for Blastoise to lock himself into Scald and scored basically everything, I could have switched up. I could have, Aura Sphered the Kieran Black for more damage, for example, things like that. And, if he outsped me with the Kieran Black, he would have been tempted to knock me out with the Fusion Bolt instead of Roost. So then he would have been much lower, leaving him in range from a Hyper Voice from Heliolisk, things like that. So I didn't really get the luck in this game. I got a crit which didn't matter. And I got a kind of low roll against the Delphox and the Ice Beam freeze, obviously. So, not the best game, honestly. I'm fairly happy with the way I played, though. I think I played it as best as I could, to a degree. There might have been a couple plays here and there that I could have made slightly differently. Bringing in, you know, the healer list to kill the Delmise instead of the Mega Venusaur would have probably worked out a lot better in my favour, because anytime Mega Venusaur was in, it just gave him a free switch into the Skarmory. But I did kind of want the Skarmory to come in anyway, because I wanted to kill it so Celesteela could do things. So it's an unfortunate 2-0 loss, but it's okay, I guess. I'm still happy with the way I played. My prep I still think was okay, and the fact I managed to bring basically nothing defensive and make the game last 38 turns, I think is okay. So unfortunate, but it's still a good game regardless. It was very close, and had it not been for that freeze, it absolutely would have come down to a 50-50. In fact, potentially multiple 50-50s, and it would have been a very, very, very good game. But unfortunately, Hacks decided to make it a somewhat one-sided affair at the end there. But hey-ho, that's the way it goes. That's Pokemon. Screw you, Freezes. Screw you, Kieran Black. So, with that said, thank you very much for watching this video, guys. I do hope you have enjoyed. If you liked this video, make sure to leave a like. You can, of course, subscribe for more content, and hopefully I'll see you guys sometime soon.